And what's going on, guys? All right, so we're going to take a trade in NQ. We're going to do this live. You're going to see how I trade. And yeah, unlike other YouTube videos, when they show their systems, they show you after the fact. I'm going to show you guys live. Let's see what we can do with NQ. If you would like to learn more about how I trade and the system I use, check out trade1348.com. Download the app. It's on iOS and Android, and the education is absolutely free. Let's get right into it. So here we go. We have NQ. I'm anticipating 10 contracts in. My system here is telling me to allocate 20 contracts into NQ. I'm not too sure if that's something I want to do right now, since we have the opening range box right here. And as you can see, guys, you've had price action wick from the top of the box and the bottom of the box. However, what we also see here is our trend is red and our trend line is to the downside. Now, I am paying attention to our ATR. Now, we have a trend to the downside. We have our indicator here known as trend thrust. That's going to give us an unbiased and an averaged out perspective of price action. Now, we do have an entry right here should I decide to take it. And of course, we have our AI, not artificial intelligence, guys. It's algorithmic intelligence using many confluences to help you manage the trade here. As you can see, we had a signal to the upside, showed some weakening before we were signaled down. Now, it's really impressive, especially on the 1 minute. However, on the 1 minute, if we go to the 1 minute, you're going to see just a whole lot of noise here, right? I do not advise the 1 minute for beginner traders. So we have the signal to the downside on the 1 minute. However, we do have the bounce on the box. This now requires trader discretion. As you can see, the trade up, you got signaled an exit here on this candle. So you were never really hitting your stop loss. And of course, we're getting the bounce off the box. What this is telling us, it's telling us that the market is chopping and the market is in a range. We are waiting for the market to break for a trend. And this is the area where a lot of beginner traders get absolutely wrecked. You have to use your discretion and risk management, because risk management is absolutely key to be able to navigate something like this, the chop. Here we are. We're just hanging tight here. No decisions made just yet. I am looking for one or the other, which is a break of the box here at 17,512 or a break of the box below at 17,455. Right now, it's simply in the middle of the box. There's really no money to be made in this price action here. So I'm going to go back to the 5 here. You know, normally I don't trade trend lines. I simply trade support and resistance, but I'm looking to see if there are any possible trends here. And no, what we're seeing here is just a lot of garbage price action, which means you sit on your hands. Now, with so many traders, especially getting started, their focus is mastering the system, high win percentages. They do not look at it as an opportunity to master the trader, the one actually taking the trade. And sometimes sitting on your hands is the most profitable thing you can do. Otherwise, you're setting yourself up to lose money. You're forcing a play. Let's go back to the charts and see how things are developing. So we see nothing going on with NQ. ES looking a lot like NQ here, just in its range. And so cannot force anything in this trade. Now, for those who are trading stocks and options, if we looked at the likes of Nvidia, which today is earnings, you could see as well, it is also ranging. Nvidia is not in play. Most traders don't trade every day because the opportunity in this setup doesn't exist every day. So they simply wait patiently for that trade to set up. And if it doesn't, they move on with their lives. Right now, there's no action. And no action to be taken. So to give you context of what is going on today, we have FOMC minutes coming out later today. Of course, we have Nvidia earnings also later today. The market's still undecided. Let's go ahead and see where NQ is currently. When we look at the bottom of the range box, which we created here, we can see it's also the low, or approximately the low of yesterday. Since we've established the lows, this gives me a bit of information for me to build up my thesis. And now what I'm waiting for is our AI indicator to let us know that we have weakening bullish momentum and that we could in fact be pivoting bullish. We're going long. Let's go to the chart here. As you can see here, we got the signal there. We got weakening bearishness here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for the break of this pink line here. But we call this Excel. This is part of our proprietary system. And what we're going to do is once I get a candle break and close above this line, I'm looking to go long. Not sure if I'm going to do my full allocation of 20 contracts. Please, boys and girls, don't try this at home. 20 contracts is about 14 $4,000. I probably will go 10 contracts at a time. We got the 10 there, and should I get a break to the upside, I will be a buyer and I will buy 10 NQ. Okay, so the buy is waiting for it on the other side of Excel. Maybe I should just give it a little bit more room right there between Excel and the 24. It's also got to compete with the 13. You can barely see the 13 EMA because it's hiding underneath Excel. And if this order fills, it fills.
Well, that was anticlimactic.
Okay, so you guys saw me get filled, and so far my thesis proved correct, assisted by our system. Make sure you guys check out trade1348.com. Let's get back to it. Experienced a little bit of drawdown, down 1,200 bucks. Now I really don't have high expectations for this trade. I'm not going to be greedy on this trade. I'm thinking we could target the top of the box here. So what I'm going to do is simply put my sell order here, and we're going to go hit sell. That's going to be my limit. And what's going to happen here, guys, is I'm simply going to let the trade develop. A common mistake that a lot of traders make is they enter the trade and then they babysit the trade. They stare at the trade, whether it's on their phone or on the computer, as if they're Professor X and they can telepathically move the price on the chart. You don't want to do that. What this encourages is trader fatigue. And oftentimes while price action is doing its thing, you're getting whipped around, right? Your emotions, you got your ups, you got your downs, but then ultimately fear sets in, and that's what causes a lot of traders to take profits too soon and or close their position too early, maybe even at a loss. And so what I try to do is not babysit the trade and let the trade develop. Most importantly, have a plan. So when we go back to the charts, we could see we have my plan currently up $2,200. If this trade plays out as I expect it to, this could be a quick $4,000 play, and I should potentially be done for the day. Should I see momentum truly build, and what I'm looking for here is, as I said earlier, I'm looking for a green print here on our trend thrust, and this gives me extra confirmation on this trade. We are just going to let this trade play out patiently. Also, I want you to pay very, very close attention to what's happening to the EMAs. We have what's called compression, where you could see the 13, and what we're looking for is the cross of the 48 and the 13. We're looking for something like this across. This is part of the 1348 strategy. You're watching me take the trade step by step, guys. So why do we use EMAs? Well, we use EMAs because EMAs average out the price. Now, a lot of people say price action's king. Absolutely. However, you got to think about candles as being a part of a community, a general community, right? So your EMA is basically an average of the homes in a community. Now, you're going to have deviations from the value of those homes. For instance, my home, 700,000, home next door, 850. For whatever reason, maybe additional square footage, but they all average out to a basic cost per square foot. That's why we like to use EMAs to average out the price action so we understand what's really happening and not getting faked out by those deviations in the candle, especially on the 5-minute where these candles can be awfully big. Here we go. Looks like we're going for that 1.5 to 1 here, guys. And so you're seeing this in real time. So what I'm going to do, and this is purely psychological, and this is something you could do as well. You could go ahead and set your stop at break even. Okay. That's my sell stop, and we're just going to bring that to break even. So I don't care what happens in this trade. My thesis is correct. Now, I could take the money off the table right now because it's meaningful money, up over $5,000, but I'm trading for longevity, meaning I have to make sure I'm hitting 1.5 to 1s so that I could secure a trading career. So let's go ahead and take a peek here. Guys, you see I'm up $4,400. Not a bad day's work. Currently up $5,100, $5,250, $5,300. This could be a $7,000 banger. Here we go, $6,000, $6,200, $6,300, targeting the 1.5 to 1 right there. And oh, what a rejection right there. Almost as if they knew I was sitting there, waiting there. So I'm going to wait and see. And what I'm probably going to do is we're going to have to move my stop. Okay, let me go ahead and take my stop. I'm gonna have to bring this up. I could end the trade profitable. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring it to the bottom of the wick here. Again, give it some room to breathe. If I lose this trade, or if it doesn't hit the 1.5 to 1, at least I walk away with some profit. But that is absolutely disgusting. My thesis was on the money. I was off by a tick. Just a tick, I was off. So what I'm looking to do here is if I can see a little bit of consolidation here and or a hold above take profit 1, I'm actually going to buy my winner. So what I'm going to do is 10 more contracts. So we're in this for 10 more contracts. I'm going to modify my sell limit to 20. We're still going to target the 1.5 to 1, and let's see what happens here. All right, up 52.50. We're gonna try to make the most of this trade. We're up 61.50, 59.50, 48.50. This isn't looking too good for me. I'll pull the ripcord if I absolutely must. NQ, yeah, sometimes does that to you, right? Up $4,500. I tried to maximize this trade and tried to probably make a little more than I deserve here, but $3,000, not bad, right? And the market's attempting to convince me that I'm wrong, and so first time, shame on the market. Second time, shame on me. So what I'm going to have to do is close my position and just take the 25. Man, I don't want to be married to this trade. $2,500 is in fact respectable. There you go, 3,000. But no, I don't want you guys to think that I'm simply being greedy here. I believe in my plan. Market sometimes will humble you though, right? So we gotta be careful. And we're gonna close that position. I'll take $1,000 off of that. So what that trade has done is forced me to go to the 1 minute, and I'm going to identify if there's an opportunity on the 1 minute. It feels some type of way. Now, this isn't revenge trading. It's just the fact that I barely hit that wick. So let's see what's happening on the 1 minute, and let's see if we can formulate a thesis for a trade for a quick scalp so I can make the day meaningful. Currently, I'm up $1,000. Okay, guys, we're on to 1 minute so I could get a little more clarity on this trade. I'm looking for an entry here. We see that it is giving me a caution sign here, right? And so I'm looking for something that would confirm bearishness, and that would be the break of our Excel line here. Currently what we're seeing is just a whole lot of consolidation, and so there we go. We see price action, right? We go back to the 5 minute here, guys, and essentially what happened, I didn't get filled up here. It reacted to this top. We now have a lower high, so I'm just gonna go short here. I am now short. We're gonna see how this trade develops. I'm going to just walk away from the trade at this point. Currently up 600, 500. Really looking for the break of Excel here, and I would target the ATR down here. All right, so 2,000, 1,800, 1,200. At this point, I'm absolutely scalping, but this is what I was looking for, and I was made aware of that thanks to this yellow LED here, right? So the strip here is letting me know caution. So up $700. Let's see what's happening here on the 1 minute. Get some confirmation here on the 1 minute what's truly happening. Looks like we're getting that bounce off of Excel. The 1 minute is giving us that granular detail, which is going to tell me if I have to bail on the trade and or change my position. So we get a nice clean break of Excel here on the 1 minute, and we could target structure down here. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm not going to be so generous with my take profit, okay? I'm gonna make sure that it doesn't tease me here, right? So I'm going to place my buy limit with purpose here and wait for this to hit my target, okay? But what we can see here with our trend thrust here, guys, is you could see we have that loss of momentum, and if we draw out our trend line, that's where we are, right there. Now, if I get a break of this trend line, what I mean is a candle close and a break above and outside this trend line, I will close this position and I will make an attempt on the 1.5 to 1. And we got a break of the 48 there. This is interesting. So I'm gonna have to go bullish here. If I go bullish here upon candle close, I would target the 200 and I would just let this trade pan out. I'm just gonna let it pan out. My thesis was proved correct on my first rodeo with NQ. We're gonna see if it gets proved correct on this one as well. So not much of a drawdown considering we're 20 contracts in. Coming that down, breaking Excel, AI, second consecutive caution here, signaling that loss of momentum, trend thrust thinning out here. Let's go to the 1 minute, understand what's really happening here on the 1 minute. And there you go, we got the break, and are we gonna hit our target? That was a beautiful break. Oh man, you saw it here, up 2,600, 2,400. We now have a red LED here, guys. This is letting you know, like, hey, if you were bullish, just kill it, you're done, no bueno, we're not going anywhere. It's okay. So we got some wonkiness going on right here, and now I have drawdown once again. The 1 minute will do that to you. Okay, now we're currently up 1,000. Here we are in the 1 minute. I'm really paying attention to this candle here in the 1 minute versus this trend line right there, right? The 1 minute will help me keep my risk super tight and super small. Should I be wrong? You know, it looks like in both situations, both rodeos, I was in fact right, but maybe I'm targeting the wrong thing. What do we have here? As you can see, now we're printing pretty much like a doji candle here on our trend thrust here, right? You can barely see it. We go ahead and zoom in. Now we're printing red here on our trend thrust, and that's what we're looking for. Now what's happened here is actually kind of interesting and pretty much an anomaly here, right? Never marry your trades, but guys, you see here, it's we got some caution here. We went from red to caution. This is really forcing me to be cautious here. Let's go to the 5 minute. Let's watch what's happening here on the 5 minute. On the 5 minute, beautifully, once again, respecting this trend here. I'm sticking to my guns here, sticking to my trade design and attempting to make money, right? Again, I dictate to the market what my trade plan is. I don't let the market dictate to me what my trade plan should be. Here we go, 2,200, 2,300. Looks like my thesis proved correct. We're gonna see if we do get that breakdown. That's what we're waiting for, right? I think I should just get up and walk away and let the system, let the chart, let my thesis just do what it has to do. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring my stop up here. Interesting how that wick came right there. So I'll just raise it there and let's let the trade play out. There's really nothing more I could do here. I'll just leave the chart running for you guys so you can see if I get the fill. So we got a break of a trend line. I have to take profit here. I'm just going to take it 600 right there. I'm just going to take the profit there at 600. We got the break of the trend line back up to the upside. All right, so we got the break of the trend line here. And so guys, I think this will be my last trade of the day. I've literally just, my thesis has been correct. The market just not has had enough follow through. I know the thesis to the upside here just barely got filled here. Missed it by a wick. We had the thesis correct to the downside. Just had to respect the fact that we broke the trend line on the other side of it here. Currently up 2,900, 2,800. How many times have you guys heard me say that this morning? We're going to let this trade develop here. Hopefully this is what I've been gunning for all morning. All right, let's go back to the 5 minute, get some context what's happening here on the 5 minute. We're still waiting for that break of the 48. There we go, we got that break. We need a break, a close, and a hold. So currently up $3,500. The market made me earn my money today. And that's because when we look at it, the market's been in chop, right? I don't advise anyone do what I do. So I want you guys to pay attention to AI here on these series of trades. You guys saw me attempt to take the trade here, bullishness, missed it barely, right? It gave me the warning signs here before it told me to bail, correct? You guys see the warning signs yellow here. Then it told me to bail. Then basically the same design, more caution. Now it's giving me a green and up 2,500 on the trade, 3,300. That brings my total up to currently up 5,000 on the day total between my trades. If you guys saw the trades and my exits, it was $1,000. Then it was 700. So now up a little over 5,000, 6,000. So we're targeting this here. Let's make this worthwhile, guys. Let's make that money. Here we go, 5,100. All thanks to the system making very simple reads. Hopefully the market doesn't do it again to me and we get a fill up 6,000, 62. Let's go, 61. There we go, we got the fill. What a morning. Had a lot of fun with you guys. Peace.